everybody, I'm going to do a video on some frugal tips to help you save money and things that will help you just live better. For one, for myself, that works for me, is going to the grocery store less often. So if you can manage to go to the grocery store once a month and get all your groceries, you have less temptation to get those impulse buys. Always shop the perimeter of the store for the fresh foods and stuff, and then do the international aisles. Things you can get there are usually cheaper than the other aisles. For example, 9 times out of 10, cans of beans or bags of dried beans are cheaper in the Mexican, international, Middle Eastern aisle, whatever it is in your grocery store. I can get coconut milk there for $1 versus in the regular aisle it's like $1.50. I can get a lot of things like couscous and stuff in a bigger bag for the same price as is elsewhere. And there's just sometimes some unique things. A lot of times, like here in Canada, they have to put the ingredients and stuff on English, even if there's like the label is in like say Chinese or Arabic or whatever. They have to list the ingredients, so you can go and go, oh, this is a spice mix for something, and wing it. A lot of those things are cheaper and healthier than some of the processed stuff that we have in our grocery stores. Another thing to do is to check your bills that you get in. So you get your hydro bill, your electric bill, your gas bill, whatever. Look at all the charges for it. Because sometimes there's things like a protection plan or some charge that you got double charged for, and you look at it and you're like, hey, I didn't do this. Especially if you've gone away for like a couple of weeks during the summertime and all of a sudden there's a huge charge on something. You're like, hey, I wasn't even here. Double check that. Also look at things that you thought you were saving money on. For example, I know a lot of people get their telephone, their cell phone, their internet, their cable, all with the same provider. And they're telling you that you're going to save money, but the bill is like $300. Okay? Yeah, you might be saving money on like these bigger packages for cable, but how many of those channels do you actually watch? Honestly. I mean, I wish you could just purchase certain channels and like pay $5 per channel or something like that. Because honestly, when we had cable, we did not have any interest in 99% of the premium channels. There was like the kids channel and like the Treehouse and stuff like that were unique, but they were only available in that package. Well, my kids are small. I'm like, okay, well, instead of spending money on that, we just bought videos at garage sales, and that was good enough for my kids. I'm just gonna. But see how much it's worth. You know, is this really worth your money to spend on these channels? Is there some way to get this information for free or cheaper elsewhere? We cut cable 14, 15 years ago, and haven't looked back. There are services out there that you can pay a monthly fee and download shows that are on TV that you like. Check out YouTube. There's a lot of them available on YouTube. They might be broken down into segments, but you know, it is what it is. There are so many things available for free. You could check out like the like CNN or whatever. You could watch their channel or something like that on like for example CBC has their shows on there the day after they've come out, usually the most popular shows, and you can watch them there for free. Why do you need to have cable? So right there, like that's the most expensive thing. Or look at, if you can't get rid of cable, look at downgrading your packages or just getting the channels you want, or check out other services, because sometimes things like satellite or cable in your area, some of them offer much better deals. And tell your cable company that you're looking around, that you're looking thinking of canceling, because 9 times out of 10, at least once a year, you can go and tell them that you'd like to get a better deal, and they will discount your price again. So even if you don't cut the cable, you could contact them and they'll give you a different price for 12 months. Just like they're offering new customers. They're like, well, why don't you offer your existing company? So I'm like, I'll go and transfer it to somebody else and get a different price. We did that before when we had cable. About once a year, you can contact them for their special price. Usually September is that time because kids are going back to school, university, and college, and everybody wants like these packages. And kids are not usually that great at budgeting and money, and they think, oh, this is a great deal, when sometimes it's not. Um, Another thing to save money is look at your house. If you can renovate your house by insulating it so that when you're heating your house, you're keeping all the heat in your house. And when you're cooling your house, keeping the cool in your house. Look at ways to insulate your walls. Look at ways to maybe get new windows. We had original windows, and our we got them replaced because they were wood frame and they were literally rotting. So that was a big expense. But our hydro bill, which is our electric bill here in Canada, got drastically cut. Like we were spending so much money on hydro for that, plus like older appliances. But over the years, we've upgraded them, except for the big, huge deep freezer that I've had for 23 years, and I got used. It's still working fine. That's the only appliance that's kind of a money sucker. But when we've changed our windows, the bills for the next couple of months after that was amazingly cheaper. Like literally saved like 30-40% in our bills. So we kept on still paying the amount that we were paying before on hydro, and then at Christmas time we just don't pay our bills because we always have a credit. And we do that with all of our bills. We always pay a bit more than what the projected amount is, so that in case of an emergency or whatever, we don't have to pay a bill, like if all of a sudden we need the money for something else. But also at Christmas time, when in December, I have a December baby, as well as Christmas, and December is a very expensive month to just because. So, and that's also when a whole bunch of things are due, and so we try and save money that way. Another thing to look at is making your own laundry detergent. Or if you have a specific laundry detergent that you do like that works well, try using a little bit less, because sometimes, like the way that the new washers and dryers are, that you just need so little soap to help it clean your clothes, that the recommended amount might be like possibly twice as much as what you need. I'm just suggesting, use a little bit less. Use a little bit smaller scoop for your laundry detergent, or make your own. There are so many do-it-yourself recipes where you use like the shave soap, borax, and the ash. So like there's like 3 or 4 ingredients laundry soap, and they work. Some work better than others. Some people like the results better than others, but it's so much cheaper. Also, look at how you're doing laundry. Some things, like jeans, for example, do not need to be washed every day. So you can wear jeans, and if you're not rolling around in the mud, of course, they are usually pretty good to be used a couple of times. 2, maybe 3 times, depending on. I wouldn't necessarily suggest it 3 days in a row, because you need to, air them out or whatever. But the more that you wash your clothes, the more they wear out. So if you don't have to wash them as much, so if you have a sweater like a cardigan, it's not getting dirty. You could use that cardigan if you're cold, at home or whatever all week, and it's not going to get dirty because you have clothes underneath it. Now, undergarments, definitely they need to be washed. You can't, you shouldn't really extend them much, but still, because they're touching your body and they're the ones that are going to, those are the things that are getting dirty. But the other pieces of clothing, sometimes, like, I might, if I've only worn it for a few hours and then I came home and I put on my pajamas, it might be still good for another day. Depends on how active I was in those clothing. Also, look at your wool clothes. If your wool clothes or your cottony clothes are getting piles on them, take a disposable razor and shave them. It keeps your clothes looking newer and they last longer. And another thing to think about is to try not to buy stuff on impulse. So you see, like, I'm awful for it. Well, this is why I don't really have a credit card, because if I was, the home shopping channel, ooh, looks nice, shiny, that will help save me so much time. No. Look at the things that you want. Make a list of them, okay? But don't buy them right now. Wait a week, wait a month, look back at the list. Do you still want those items? And if you do, well, figure out a way to save up to buy them with money first. Like, you can still use your debit card, but you have the money in your bank account. Don't put them on credit. Don't. Like, if you want an Instant Pot, because you've seen people's videos because they make wonderful gifts and stuff like that, and they're loving it, save up for it. You put $5 away each month or each pay or whatever, and in a couple months you can get one. And look on those, if you really want something like you saw that you wanted, look at getting it used. Check your local Facebook or Craigslist or eBay or even Amazon and stuff like that, where they have the used ones. Because used, you could get it for like half price. And it still works, especially if you get from one of these refurbished, looking for refurbished too. We got a few cameras and my laptop. I paid like $200 for my laptop because it's a refurbished, and it's a Dell. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it because it got refurbished by the company. Somebody probably bought it, returned it, and said I didn't like it, so they had to go and refurbish it. So, so don't buy stuff on impulse. And this is why I try not to go shopping much. Is that you get impulse buys, all these things by the cashiers, all these things by things. The less I'm in the stores, the better my pocketbook is. The less money I spend. I mean, you know. In the spring and stuff, wherever you live or wherever, try and grow your own vegetables. You can get seeds at you can get good organic blah 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 seeds and pay for like $1 or $2 or whatever a package, or you can go like to the dollar store or whatever and get cheap seeds for like 3 or 4 for $1. You're spending 25 cents on seeds. You're not going to use all those seeds for one, unless it's like basil or parsley, because you use all those ones because they're little itty bitty seeds. But you spent 25 cents instead of, like, you can't even buy one of anything, like one tomato, one cucumber, one one big onion or one potato for 25 cents. So even if it only produces one item, you're still spending 25 cents. And you know what you're growing with. Even though the seeds might not be organic to start off with, when you're growing the stuff, that you can grow it without chemicals and it's organic. So A, it's cheaper. B, you can do organic yourself. And C, it's exercise. The stuff is healthier. Like when you're growing stuff and you could see it in your own hand, you could see exactly when it's ripe and you can pick it and eat it. You don't have to pick it when it's not ripe and have it travel and ripen on the journey. You can pick it right at peak performance. And it's just healthier. And you don't have to have a large space. I have like two community garden boxes at my church there. They're 4 by 8 boxes. And I'm growing tomatoes and cucumbers and bok choy and broad beans and onions and, well, I tried garlic, but I don't think the garlic went up. But I was just using garlic I got from the store, so you know. And kohlrabi and some other Asian vegetables that I had seeds for that I got free, and I tried them, and and lettuces, on beets. Yes, I planted beets. So you can you use all these. I got like I'm getting a harvest, like a grocery bag of veggies each time I go, of stuff, and it's always different. Oh, and lots of basil too. Um, so try growing your own vegetables. You can do it also in containers a lot of times. Even if you live in an apartment building. When we lived in an apartment building, we used to have all these like pots, and we grew tomatoes and beans and stuff. And it was actually better sometimes than where we were because we always got sun because nothing was blocking us. Like we got sun for the certain day. Like where I live right now, my hedges, I only get sun for like 3 or 4 hours where I plant my vegetables here because there's just not a lot of sun. So, but when I was in an apartment building, we had sun for like 7 hours a day on the balcony, and it was really good to grow tomatoes and beans and parsley and basil and all that stuff. So you don't need a lot of space. You just have to be creative. Um, and another thing to do is um, to be frugal is try to do things yourself. So, to save money, for example, here in Canada at Home Depot and Lowe's, every every weekend or every couple weekends they have a do-it-yourself free class that you can learn how to do your own carpeting, do your own tiles, change out the sink in your bathroom, or do your own make toilet. Like if you're changing out the toilet, removing it and putting a new one in. Different painting techniques. Uh, there's something. There's you have to look at their calendar, but there's like I've seen things. It's at least twice a month, if not every weekend. There's something. So if there's something that your house needs to get done, see if you can take a free class. B, go to the library, check out books on how to do it yourself. And you can rent the machinery that you need to because it's cheaper than buying it, and do it yourself. Because I know for a fact, so I'm not very I'm a bit handy. My husband's not so handy. He is with technology, but not with stuff around the house. So hiring somebody to do it, we did that with our kitchen. We bought the kitchen from IKEA, and we paid somebody to install it and set it up, because we physically could not do it ourselves without like killing one another, I'm sure, and then breaking stuff, and then it would not work. So we paid somebody who is a licensed contractor and stuff like that. The amount that we paid for our kitchen, we paid that same amount to have somebody install it. If we could have done it ourselves, we would have saved that amount. It's still cheaper than going to one of these, getting fancier kitchen stuff. My kitchen's not bad. It's pretty darn good. And it's great for what I need it for. Um, and I wish it could be bigger, but I physically can't make it bigger because, the walls around my kitchen are the ones holding up the second floor. So we kind of like having the second floor. So can't make it bigger. But it is what it is. We made the best to do with what we had. So see about learning to do stuff on yourself, because hiring somebody who's a professional is quite expensive. But even hiring somebody who's like a common, do it yourself handyman, you get what you're paid for sometimes. Also, they might not be qualified or have as much knowledge about whatever you want to get done as you want them to have, and they might screw it up, and they might break whatever you've bought for them to install. Um, Now a licensed one kind of covers a lot of that stuff, and they have at least some paperwork proof stuff. But then you're paying more, so you kind of have to think. Like when we had issues with our like our railing and stuff like that, we need that. We got a handyman, because we needed some help with that, but we didn't need a professional, you know. But with windows, we went and got them through the Windows guys. We didn't go and buy the windows and then get a handyman to install it. The windows were done in one day, in actually 4 hours, the whole house. I'm like, there's like boom, 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 boom. I was like, there's so many people in my house and there's windows, and I'm trying to keep the cats from leaving the house. It was fun. So, so that was about it. But those are some tips to save money and to be frugal, and hopefully will help you look at your finances a little bit different. Also, what I like to do as a way to kind of trick my brain, because I have ADHD brain or ADD brain, whatever you want to call it, is whenever I have change or money, like actual cash, by the end of the week, I just throw it in a jar. And then it's out of sight, out of mind. And then every once in a while, I'll look at that jar and, oh, look, I have $50. And I wasn't looking at, I wasn't paying attention to. And also, I like to keep, for example, if I get gift cards and stuff, I like to put them in a jar here, so that when I need to go to those stores, I will take them out and use them. So they actually get used. That's my other money jar. That's my just change for my pockets. I have another one that has bills and stuff of just like what I have after the week, and then if I need to get cash again, I'll get cash, break a 20, you use it, and then you forget about it. And it's kind of like a mind-numbing way of saving money. So, that's about it. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you on the next one, or on my next live stream. Have a great day, and don't forget to drink lots of coffee, because I love my coffee. It's the nectar of the gods. Bye, friends.